just for a second. Prayer unstops the ears, but this is one of the other reasons that we must shout. And sometimes for some people it's like, okay, that's a little bit outside of my comfort zone. But let me tell you something, you know, and if you're going to get breakthroughs and hear from heaven, sometimes you have to break out of your comfort zone. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with throwing up your hands and shouting every now and then. Praise is another aspect where it unstops our ability, or unstops our ears. In Judges chapter 1, and I've shared this with y'all before, it says, now after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first to fight against them? Verse 2 says, and the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. Now I'm trying to parallel this with Matthew chapter 7 just for a second, because you notice Matthew chapter 7 verse 7 says, if we ask, it's going to be given to us. If you notice here in all of these Old Testament texts, every time someone asked something of the Lord, he answered them. So it is a misnomer and a misrepresentation of Scripture for you to say, I asked God and he did not answer me. Because the Bible specifically says that if we ask, he's going to answer. Are you understand what I'm saying? He's got to answer us. It is the law of first mention. If we see it in Scripture, he has to do it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? And then it goes on here in Judges in verse 2. It says, and the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. Everybody say Judah. Now, Judah means praise. So Judah goes up first. But watch now, in verse 3 it says, and Judah said unto Simeon, his brother, come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites, and likewise I will go with thee into thy lot. So Simeon went up with him. Now Judah means praise. Y'all track with me here for a second. But the Hebrew name Simeon means hearing, or one who hears. So it is impossible for you to praise on one end and not hear on the other. Because Judah and Simeon are tag team partners. So praise goes forth first, but hearing comes right behind praise. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you have Simeon who follows Judah. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So praise unstops your ears. So whenever we say you need to shout, you don't just need to shout just because we say you need to shout. You need to shout because right after shouting is hearing from heaven. Breakthrough, let me tell you something. Breakthroughs right now are awaiting so many of us. So many of us need to know, what is the next financial thing we need to do? How do I need to spend my money? How do I need to manage this? How do I need to manage my emotions? How do I need to manage the hurt or the pains that have happened in my life? How do I manage the next level of my life without regressing back to an old level of my life? How do I go into the new dimensions of my world without going and regressing back into old patterns? You understand what I'm saying? Because it always seems like whenever you're trying to go into new things, old things start to try and create. So how do I live in the new thing without going back into the old thing? Let me tell you something. In order for you to establish that, you are going to have to hear from God. And you cannot do that without prayer. I don't care how afraid you are to pray. You have to pray. Even if prayer is just simply you sitting down in a chair and talking to God. You ain't got to go through all the Psalms and Proverbs and Lamentations and Jeremiah and the minor prophets and the major prophets and Genesis and Revelation. You ain't got to go through all the Scripture. Just talk to the man. Sometimes I don't hear until I get honest with God and say, I don't know what else to do with my life. I don't look at, I will be turning 39 years old August 29th of this year. I don't look at, thank God I don't look at. The closer I get to 40, the closer my mind, or the more my mind thinks, what am I going to do with the next stages of my life? What have I done, y'all? Come on now, with my life. And what do I need to do with the next stages of my life? How much of my life have I wasted? And how much of my life can I get back? And how much of my life can I move forward? Enough of y'all are not being honest with me. Let me tell you something. In order for you to know what to do with the next stages, phases, purpose, places of your life, you're going to have to hear from heaven. Because some of us, the trouble that we've had is from hearing from too many people that did not have a good paradigm or a good view of where our life should go. And I'm not blaming everything on folk, because some of us, it's been our fault from listening to the wrong people. But when there's a deficiency in your soul, you will listen to anybody. When there's depravity in your soul, you will listen to anybody. You'll take counsel from anybody. I'm telling you right now that many of us need to lift our heads back unto God, our hearts back unto God, and say, I don't know what to do with the next stages, phases of my life, but I know that you know what to do. You designed me. You purposed me. You put me in this earth. Now talk to me. I'm about to restore somebody's desire for prayer, because some people in this place are afraid to pray because they're afraid of what they're going to hear. God is more concerned about getting you on the right track than he is about judging you for where you are right now. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Are you hearing?